is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney one. My girl, and say, this is. Hi. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, if you take dialysis, oh, no, yes, that cleans your blood, right, right. Oh, yeah, it cleans your blood. Oh, no, you definitely got to go 3 times a week, honey. There's no doubt about it. You got to go 3 times a week. Takes the blood out, put the blood back, take the blood out, put the blood. Yeah, girl. And the transplant list, the thing can be so long. Not even just long. First of all, the medications and then, after a certain amount of time, it might start costing you. And, they love you in the beginning. I don't know if they love you after that or not. You know what I mean? It's like a catch-22. Get transplant, get transplant. Get dialysis, you got to get dialysis. You will definitely die, honey, without it. Trust me. What I'm talking about? Can you hear me? Can you understand me? Well, do you get it? Well, you should get it. Yeah. Listen, whatever it takes. I'm telling you, whatever it takes. I know, because I know that girl who got the 411. Yes, that Lisa Baxter. I know her. And she got to start her show because, oh, definitely, this is the Lisa Baxter Show. As you heard in the beginning, giving you the 411 in the kidney world. How's everybody doing? Good night. Not going to sleep good night, but staying up for this show and enjoying it. I want you to learn something. And sharing is caring. And I always say, if you take care of your kidneys, they'll take care of you. Make sure you make your right decision when you're coming to doing your transplant. Inform your family, talk with your family, and get with your family. Sharing stuff with family is so important because if anything happened and you cannot speak, you need somebody to speak for you. You're going to need a proxy or something. So don't forget those important things because they're very important. Okay? So this is a resource show, and this is a show that'll make you think, make you learn, and make you take action. So make sure you do. I ain't mad at you. How about that? I want to introduce my guest. My guest. She was a customer service worker for Verizon. She's a transplant warrior. She's a woman with a purpose, a woman with a vision, a woman that's doing things. Her name is Kim. Not only Kim, but it's Kim with a dot A Watson. That's right, Kim Watson. Hey, Kim. Welcome to the show, girl.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
I'm glad. I'm glad. You sound so quiet now. We had so much action backstage. Don't start nothing, gonna be nothing. Come on here. Listen.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna start off and we're gonna start riding and driving forward. Your job. Tell us a little bit about your job and what you doing or what you were doing.
Well, I started with back then was known as New York Telephone back on January 2nd,
Mm-hmm.
1990. It was totally different then. A lot of things have changed. Technology has come along. Years later, we got
Oh yeah.
FiOS, and that's pretty much what I did. I answered people's questions about their bill. Why is the bill so high? If they wanted to terminate service, I did the disconnects. If they wanted to
Mm-hmm.
move their service, I moved their service. Way back when, we used to get customers that I used to put service on their boat. We did dock service for the boats,
Get out.
bungalows. A lot of that I haven't done in
Wow.
years.
In a bungalow, huh?
Well, yeah, we going way back. That like when people have their little summer cottages. They call them bungalows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. When I used to
A
fly
lot
and
of
go
a
away,
lot of
they used to call
since
that,
then.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
hmm
Wow. So how long
You
did
know,
you do that?
I did it for 30 years. I just retired January 3rd of
Wow.
2020.
What? Congratulations. Congratulations. It's a short
Thank
time,
you.
but how's it going so far for you?
It's going pretty good. it's finally given me a chance to maybe get some rest.
Okay.
I was a little bit tired.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I had a cough, a cold that I was battling since maybe the end of October, all the
Uh-huh.
way up till January, and it
Wow.
got better. I was on, you know, antibiotics, and I was on prednisone because I'm an asthmatic.
Mm,
And eventually, the cold got better, but then I was still left with a cough.
mm.
And then sometime around December, um, it seemed like I was catching cold again. So I'm glad not to have to ride the buses where I'm maybe coughed on or coughed over or in the office anymore with a lot of germs and stuff. Maybe I would feel a lot better now I'm home and I can get
Mm.
some rest and not be so much exposed.
So while you was working, you wasn't getting any rest, or you were around a lot of people because, well, you have a transplant, right?
Yes, I had a transplant coming on 2 years, come February 13th of this year. It'd be two
Wow.
years.
What? You got another thing coming up. Come on, girl. Congratulations. That's all right.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
And you look well and you're doing well.
Thank you.
Now,
Yes.
before we get deep into your transplant, what caused you to need a transplant? Let's go into that. What caused you to need this
Um,
transplant that you got?
okay. About 11 years ago,
Okay.
I took some diet pills.
Mm,
Lost a ton of weight, but they made me sick. I went to the doctor. She did my blood work and she saw some strange things. She said,
wow.
"Well, you're dehydrated. Your liver function is down. Your kidney
Mm,
function is down. This is down. That's down. It just was not
wow.
normal."
Yes.
And she began to ask me. I ended up at the emergency room. A whole lot of things went on. Um, Unexplainable stuff. I couldn't move. I couldn't do a lot of different things.
Mm,
And later on, she asked me, no, I said to her, could it be from
mm,
these diet pills? And she said, wait a minute, you took diet pills? I said,
wow.
yes. Um, and at the time, the name of the diet pill was Xenadrine.
Uh-huh.
Xenadrine, I wish I had really pursued it legally because it has now been taken off of the market because it made a whole lot of other people sick.
Wow.
Um, when I tried to seek legal, I was told I had to do a class action lawsuit, but at
Yes.
the time, nobody was suing. My
Mm,
mistake was that I didn't pursue it because later on, people were doing lawsuits against the company. They no longer exist. It's not even on the market.
wow.
And silly, the kidney function went back to normal. But no, I'm still trying to lose weight. So I took something called Xantrex.
Uh-huh.
That also still on the market, but they changed it to Slim Quick. It still exists, but they changed the
Wow.
formula. And I made the mistake of doing that, and then the kidney function did not return to normal. I was
Oh.
diagnosed with a disease called proteinuria back
Mm,
11 years ago. And that was all because I wanted to lose weight quick. I lost a ton of weight, but I, I suffered with something, a terrible mistake for 11 years I had gone through. Um, I didn't really consider myself with kidney disease at the time. All I know is they said, oh, you have too much protein in your urine. At that time, not
yeah.
really realizing that was the early signs of kidney disease.
So the
And
name
then
of that disease that you have, what? Tell us a little bit about that from
it
what you
was
know.
called it was called proteinuria, which
Hmm.
means that I was spilling too much protein into my urine, which
Okay.
basically is kidney. The name of the kidney disease that I had was
Wow.
called so
Mm,
I couldn't
mm.
really eat. I ate normal, but I couldn't do things that were excessive in protein.
Oh, so you had to monitor your intake of protein.
Well, initially, no, I did not. That was
Okay.
another issue that I had because
Oh, another one,
by the
huh?
time the doctors started monitoring my diet and stuff, I
Hmm.
had one foot on the banana peel and one in the grave.
My
And then we
God.
going back. This was 11 years ago. Only when my condition accelerated to the final stage did I have to start watching what I ate. But maybe if I was educated myself more, or the doctor educated me more many years
Mm.
ago, maybe it would accelerated to where it went.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, we live and learn, and some lessons is harder. It's harder than others. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And it could be really terrible.
Yes.
But at least you did go to the emergency room. At least you did have some sort of consultation about when they found out you were taking the diet pills. You know what I mean? So that was helpful. And you were honest and truthful. Sometimes people won't say what it is, you know what I mean, because they might be scared or they might be
Right.
nervous in reference to it. So I'm
Hmm.
glad that you stepped up. You went to go see what was going on, and you tried. You know, were you scared to take the other thing to lose weight, or did you talk to like a nutritionist, or because some people. Because I was heavy for 8 years. My husband married me at 214 pounds. Even though I was jogging and running, sometimes I would lose inches instead of pounds. And I think years ago, me and my sisters, we were always trying to diet, and we tried all kinds of diets and all of them, slim fast, all kind of diet. And slim fast had worked for
Well,
me. Cutting the stuff down worked for me and stuff. If I caught a cold, I would lose 10 pounds. But did you ever seek any nutritionist or a dietitian or anything at your clinic or in your
truthfully, no, because
okay.
prior to me having my children, I never really had a weight problem.
Oh,
And
okay.
then here I am. I was exercising and doing everything I'm supposed to do. But then
Mm-hmm.
at one point, I used to sell herbal products. And when I took those herbal products, I didn't get sick. I used to sell them. I forget the name of the company, but I used to like sell the products, and I used to take the
Mm-hmm.
product that I sold. Didn't get sick from that. Got sick from stuff that was actually in GNC on the market.
Wow.
Um, So I was still doing what I was supposed to do, watching what I ate and all of that. But here it was. Here's a pill you could take where you could lose weight quick. I went in for the get weight loss quick thing. I did,
Uh-huh.
but then I
Well,
said,
we all wanted it fast. Trust me. If I could have been skinny
mhm.
by tomorrow, I probably would have loved it. You know what I mean? I
And
was a size 20 in that
I
gown.
love the fact that I love the fact that it gave me a lot of energy. So I used to work out twice a day, every day.
Mhm.
And yeah, I lost a lot of weight, but I suffered health wise because of it.
Okay.
I should have just
Well,
leave it
was it
be.
hard to get the was it hard to get the weight off with or without these pills? You'd say?
No, I guess I just wanted to go back to what I was prior to me having my kids.
Okay.
Hmm.
So yeah, yeah, I remember that. I've been a lot of sizes myself. I've been a 7, a 8, a 9, a 10, a 12, a 20, a 18. But and I think I had all kind of clothes in the closet, different sizes. Now, I'm
Hmm.
gonna we're gonna move into your transplant. What happened or where were you the day that you got your call for your transplant?
I was in my living room, and I got the phone call saying we have a date.
Hmm.
And I called my daughter, who was my donor, and I wanted to make sure that the date coincided with a date that she would be available. I
Hmm.
think originally they told me the beginning of February, and then my daughter said that the other option they gave us, which was the 13th, was a better day for her because she would be available that day.
Uh-huh. Wow. Mm. Well, okay. Did you go on the donors list or did they give you any options before you took your daughter or used your daughter or made the decision of your daughter? How did you come up with that decision? I'm really trying to ask.
The truth,
Uh-huh.
many years, quite a few years ago, uh, probably about 10 years ago,
Okay.
I said to both of my daughters, I said, I guess maybe it was just a premonition. I said, you know what? If mommy ever needs a kidney, would one of you be willing to give me one? And my youngest daughter said, oh, yeah, mommy, sure, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll give you a kidney. She ended up not being the best choice. for
Wow.
me. So I chose older daughter, um, which I'm glad I did. And basically that was it. I mean, I asked them when they were young if I ever
Hmm.
needed, would they step in and give me one? And the
Well,
person that was the most fearful of doing it actually ended up being my donor.
wow. Well, why was the other one not a good choice? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer that if you don't want to. We're not pushy
Well,
on the show.
what they told me at the time was her age. She was 17.
Oh, she's a baby. Yeah.
Uh, she was 17, getting ready to be 18.
Okay.
Um, and she was overweight. That's what they said.
Okay. Yeah, they want you to be a certain shape when you on the list, even when you're the person getting the kidney. They want to make sure you're all right. That's why they send you to all of those tests, that treadmill thing, taking
Hmm.
blood. They check you from head to toe, send you to 100 appointments, and you better, and you got to keep them all to stay and to be on that list. So you must have jump started all of that. So you dodged dialysis. I ain't mad at you. And
Well,
then and yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I'm sorry. No, you
No,
talk.
go ahead. I got time, honey.
What basically happened is it was just God's grace because of
Bless him.
where I
Yeah.
was, I should
Hmm.
have been on dialysis. I refused it. I didn't want it. I never claimed it. I prayed against it. I begged God not to let me go on it.
Mm.
So I did suffer, but I believe because of his grace that he kept me because I would wake up in the middle of the night gasping for air. I would choke in my sleep.
Hmm.
I caught gout Christmas of 2016. I caught
Uh-huh.
gout because of my disease.
Yeah.
Um,
I had
I
gout
think
too.
by
Okay. Hmm.
February, I think of 2017, it went away. They put me on some
Wow.
kind of pill. I don't remember the name of it. And that made the gout go away. I didn't have any more problems with it. But initially, when I caught the gout, I couldn't walk. And
Did
then,
they tell you to stop eating red meat or anything? Or did a
oh
nutritionist
yeah,
stop in?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
What? Listen
Gout is
at you.
immune.
That mean you wasn't listening. What?
I listened. No,
What?
that's not what happened. I had never
Okay.
had gout before. I had the disease all this time, and it was progressing, but I never had gout. So
Hmm.
when I caught the gout, this is gonna sound real bad, but I had to ask them for stuff. And even
Okay.
when I went to the emergency room with the gout, I went. I'm gonna tell you where I went.
All
Maybe
right.
I shouldn't say the name of the place I went to.
You done
I
said
went
so
to the
many
ER.
names. I don't know what might happen. Shondo. Go ahead though. Do
I
whatever you
went to
think.
the ER,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and they looked at my foot. I said, "Is this gout?" Now I'm playing doctor. Oh yeah, that's gout. I said, "Okay." I said they gave me oxycodone for gout.
Oh, forget?
Yes. Yes,
Mm.
ma'am. I went to my doctor, my primary care doctor, and she says, "Kim, are you kidding me?" She said they gave you oxycodone for gout. She says they're never supposed to give you that. First of all, you're not really supposed to prescribe that anyway. You would never do it for gout. And then they were like, you should have been given an anti-inflammatory. So she
Ah.
gave me an anti-inflammatory, and my foot went. I normally wear an 8. My foot went from a men's 11 shoe because I had to wear my husband's 11 shoe down to a
Wow.
woman's 11, and then finally down to my regular shoe. But it took months. And then when I got to I had made an appointment to see the urologist. I guess that's what it is, the
Yeah.
urologist. And what made me so upset about that is that I was diagnosed with the gout like around December and New Year, like around New Year's Eve,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't get a chance to see the daggone urologist till like February. It was
Wow.
terrible.
So
So
that's painful a
I did,
long
I
time.
went, right. I suffered. I did go through a lot. I had no energy. I didn't know that, like you said, a lot of the diet stuff
Yeah.
nobody told me about. Nobody put me on anything until, like I said, I had one foot on a banana peel, the other one half in the grave. I
My
never
Lord.
knew that Phosphorus was an issue. I never knew about the protein thing, but phosphorus and
Other
purines. Never knew
factors.
nothing about
Yes.
that. Wasn't
Mm.
until I got the, and it wasn't until I'm trying to get ready for a transplant. I was eating collard greens and everything for years. I grew up on that, and
Uh-huh.
not knowing
Who
collard
did?
greens, even though it's good for you, wasn't good for me because of the phosphorus. So a
Right.
lot of stuff that I was eating, I I, I guess I thank God I'm still here because
Wow.
everything that I was doing that you're not supposed to do, I was never told not to do. And I had to find out because when I went to the doctor, I had to ask them uh, for a diet. And I was kind of
Well,
pissed with
good.
that because, yeah, this was a place in Long Island. Yeah. I started out in Long Island at the kidney, someplace in Long Island.
Uh-huh.
And I had to ask them for a nutrition, like a guide of what to eat and what not to
Sure,
eat.
they have stuff like that,
But
They have
that's
a whole
it was
diet that a transplant person supposed to follow. They even have a diet even before you get on dialysis because I had a diet, to slow the protein down because it makes the kidneys fight. That's what I was told. So they had a cookbook and everything. Even when I got on dialysis, another cookbook. That's what
they never
nutrition. Even before, mm,
They never provided me with any of that. I had to
that's a
ask
shame.
for it. Plus, for
Mm.
that to be a kidney place and a dialysis place right there in Long Island, um, why don't you have a nutritionist on site? They had no nutritionist there. No nutritionist on site at all. The material that I got, I had to ask for, and somebody had to go look for it to give me a diet guide for me to follow. I shouldn't have
So it
to
was under
ask for
a
that when
rock.
I'm,
Hmm.
huh?
I said, so it was
Right.
under a rock. They didn't even give you a referral. If they didn't have it on site, they're supposed to have a place where you to go. I know that even as a
Had to
social worker.
that guess what? Had to ask for that too. You know when I got a
Wow.
nutritionist? When I went to the place when I was trying to get the transplant, when I had my team
Mm.
out in Long Island, initially I started there. That's when I got a nutritionist. Other than that, I had to look at the materials that I asked them for. I read over them and I play it forward. So anybody I know that has kidney disease now or that I know is trying to get a transplant, I tell them to make sure that that you eat right, that you don't eat certain things.
Yeah.
I even gave the paperwork to my mother-in-law after I had the transplant.
Wow. Well, when you dealing with these kind of things, you become an educator, whether you want to or not, because people are watching you anyway. They're watching to see what you're going to eat, what you're going to do. They watch your habits. They're not watching you to be nosy. And maybe some family members are, or friends are, or want to make sure you stay on point. But now what was the hardest thing after the transplant? You're still in a hospital, and tell me about your pill intake. What has it been till now, and what was the things that happened and not happening now, or maybe still happening?
Well, going back a second, just a moment. When you asked me about the dialysis, I guess you, maybe like a lot of other people, kind of were under the impression that because I didn't do it, that, oh, you must not have really needed it. I should have been on it. So a lot
Oh,
of
I
things
know
I
you
went
should have been
through.
on it. I talked to you before this, and we met through a mutual sister in Christ. So no, but I
Right.
get but speak your truth. Go ahead and say
Well,
that.
what
Say
happened?
what you want to say. I like that though.
Well, the hardest thing, I'm gonna be honest with you, Lisa. It's a
Hmm.
sad thing to say, but I've been sick my whole life. I've had chronic asthma since I was
Mm.
born. I'm 51, so taking a pill or it didn't phase me. It was just the amount of pills now at one time. That was a challenge. And
That's usually
learning
it. One
to
pill never bother you. Try all the
what the
16 in the
organized
morning,
night.
or yeah, and 19 at night. I'm thank God it's only 4 in the morning now and 2 at night.
Yes. Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
now I went from like taking like 17 pills and that didn't include my thyroid pill
Okay.
from because I have a thyroid condition. That didn't include that. So all those pills, that was a challenge. But I guess one of the best things was that I could finally rest because I used to wake up 2 to 3 times a night, maybe no, about 3 to 4 times a night, every night to go to the bathroom. And
Mm.
then when I finally fell asleep, it was time to get up and go to work.
You ain't
So
never
I
lied.
guess,
I know that's right.
yeah, I guess my biggest challenge was just taking all those pills. That's it at one time,
Okay.
and
All right.
making sure that remembering to take them, and also organizing them. All of that.
Oh yeah.
So
Every
that was.
Saturday I organize them for the whole week. Yeah, I line them up, get them together, and everything. I started trying to do it in the morning instead of the night. But
Hmm.
the pills, they have side effects. They do. They
Right.
do. I know the prednisone affect your bones and stuff. I'm having some issues with my bones, but I had calcium issues when I was younger too. I had some things going on when I was a kid. But
Hmm.
do you have any of those issues with bones or joints or anything like that?
No, because they never put me on prednisone. The only time that I
Mm,
was on prednisone was when I was in the hospital, and just before I left, like my last day, they
mm-hmm.
gave me mega doses of prednisone. So
Wow.
I was on cloud nine with prednisone when I left there.
Ooh,
So I never actually had to take prednisone at all.
mm, mm. So I know you are happy and grateful with getting the kidney.
I
Do you
am
know who your
because
daughter
I
is?
go
Oh, your
ahead. I'm
daughter.
sorry.
I'm sorry, your daughter. And I ate this time. Usually I don't eat before the show. I ate this time. I should remember that. Yeah. Well,
Uh-huh.
how's your daughter doing since she gave you the kidney?
She's doing good. She scared me to death initially because
Mm,
about uh, about 2 weeks after we had the surgery, she's getting on the train to go to school. Oh, were you crazy? You get on the
wow.
subway with some? It's like, mommy, I gotta graduate. I gotta graduate. So I was very proud of her and scared at the same time. 'Cause we had the surgery February 13th, and she graduated from college in June. That June,
Wow.
uh, graduated with a chemical engineering degree. So I was very proud of her.
Wow.
Scared, but very proud that she was able to go back. And, I thought she was doing too much. I did. I was like, you're doing too much. Slow down. But she's like, mommy, I gotta get out of school. So she did what she had to do. And
Mm,
she's doing very good, doing well.
wow. Well, what have you learned from being on having a transplant? What have you learned?
I've learned the same thing that you say all the time. Take care of your kidneys and your kidneys will take care of you. I learned that honestly, there's no lose weight quick gimmick. Best to just exercise and do what you need to do. Taking all them pills, as my doctor said to me 11 years ago, they're not benign. And I knew what she meant by that.
Mm,
Even the other day, I joined the gym last week. I went Thursday and Friday, and they were offering me some kind of thing to help enhance my workout. And the first thing I said was, I don't think
yeah.
so.
That's a
I
trigger
don't
right
want to
there,
take no.
right?
I don't
Yeah.
want to take it. Look, I told him
That
too. I
bulb
just had
went
to go
off,
get my.
didn't it?
Yep.
Hallelujah. I know that's right. Come on now. Yes.
Yes.
Now,
I don't want to take any care.
let me ask you a question. Let me see. Okay. Let me listen. You all right? Did you get any of the symptoms when they told you your kidney failed and you didn't want to do dialysis? What symptoms did you get? I remember the symptoms I got and I talk about, but what symptoms would you say you got? I'm sure the same ones, but still.
Um, Miraculously, a lot of the things that they asked me, did I have? I didn't have. That's why I said had to just been God's grace.
Yes.
But one of the symptoms I had was the itching. I felt like I had worms on me. The
Oh
phosphorus.
yeah, that phosphorus thing, man. You itch
I mean,
like you're a fiend.
till I'm bleeding. I'm like, oh my God. you know, and then my skin, I had these weird sensations with my skin
Mm,
and on my face, and they didn't know what it was. That was way before anything.
yeah.
Um, didn't know about that. Then I had, of course, the swelling in my legs.
Okay.
Um,
No metallic taste
just
in the mouth.
no, I kept reading about that, but I don't know. No, I
No
didn't.
nausea. No
Um,
vomiting.
mm,
No insomnia. No foamy urine. No sticky feces.
foamy urine, yeah, looked like somebody poured liquid detergent in the toilet,
Yes, sudsy,
and
wudsy.
it has
Yes,
a
that's
and it
true.
had a and it had a foul odor, the urine.
Hmm.
Um, that and I when I ate certain foods, I had would suffer with acid reflux really really bad.
Mm.
Like at night, just a lot of I just was so tired. I had no energy. I barely had
Oh yeah,
energy to get up out of bed to go
yeah.
to
The
work,
energy was
and
it was gone. It
it
reminded me
it
when
was
I was pregnant
literally.
before I had the miscarriages. I was tired
I,
like that
I'm sorry.
sometimes, and I'm an energetic person.
And it was hard because I remember one day, and I'll never forget this person. She just retired too. I was at work,
Hmm.
and I was struggling to go to work because my doctor wasn't ready to take me out, even though I needed to be out. And I remember going on my break or my lunch hour, whatever, and going outside on my break outside the building. And I was so crying so hysterically one day that she just grabbed me. I was so embarrassed. She grabbed me to console me,
Wow.
and I didn't tell her what was wrong, but she just had to literally. And the thing was, I've had those good hard cries like that, and then had to
Yeah,
go back to my desk, get it together, and get on the phone. Thank you for calling Verizon. How may I help you? Like nothing was wrong.
I
That was
know that's
hard
right.
because
Oh sure.
I was very sick, and I still had to try to sell customers files.
Wow.
It was
Yeah, yeah.
it was very
You had
difficult.
to keep going. Well, was your eyes
Right.
bloodshot or anything, or did you turn darker? I know I gotten darker. Was you anemic or
I think
cold
that
all the time?
my skin was darker. I know. I think Rhonda always says, "Oh, your skin looks so much." I mean, I have problem with my skin because of my eczema and stuff,
Yeah,
but it's different, you know.
yeah,
Um, I just I had a supervisor that says she'll never forget what I said to her even up till now, and you figure it's been over almost 2 years since I had the surgery. So
yes,
technically, it's been quite a while because this was prior to me having the surgery. So over two
yeah.
years ago, I told her, and I was so sick. I said to her, I just want to feel normal. And up
Mm,
till now, she says to me, if she was right here now, she would tell you. She says that blew her mind because she never ever heard anybody say that,
yeah, yeah.
and it touched her because that's really how I felt. I just wanted to
Wow,
feel like I didn't know what that was anymore because I was so sick. I had no energy, was itching all the time, couldn't eat this, couldn't eat that. I said to myself, if you really want to punish somebody, put them on a kidney diet. It's not easy.
wow.
It took a lot of discipline, a lot of
Sure.
discipline because everything that I've grown accustomed to eating that was good for me wasn't good for the kidney. I was eating wheat bread for years. Oh, don't eat wheat
Hmm.
because of the gout, because of the purines, because of this, because of that. I eat turkey
Yeah.
sausage for breakfast. Don't eat that. Oh, so a lot of stuff that I had grown accustomed
Preservatives,
to
high in salt, sodium.
to
Yeah,
keep to keep me off of the dialysis, I had to. It was that was hard. That was hard because
yeah,
all the stuff that I couldn't eat that I had grown accustomed to eating, I mean, a pot of greens, yeah, a collard green, no, I can't eat that. Spinach, oh, you can't eat that. Or either I couldn't eat it because of the kidney, or I couldn't eat it because of the purines, or I couldn't eat it because of the gout. So I'm on a gout and a kidney diet all the same. It
wow.
was difficult. It was
Oh, I'm
difficult.
sure it was. I'm sure it was, you know. Now you
Mhm.
dodged the diet of a dialysis patient. My biggest thing is I that 32 ounces of water that I had to spread throughout the day when I was a person that drunk maybe 12 glasses or 15 glasses of water a day besides tea and juice. When they told me that, I think I just really cried. I cried about that and the fact that I didn't have children yet. At least with my siblings on
Right.
dialysis, they had kids and everything. And I was the one with, the
Yeah.
miscarriages, no children. And that was a hard
I'm
pill for me
sorry.
to swallow. But like you said, through it all, God shows you and he will hold your hand in it, with it, and through it. And he'll help you to help somebody else. And this is what your story and your testimony is out here helping somebody else that had a transplant, that maybe had gout, eczema, asthma, you know, uh, and the other list of things that you said. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised out here what people have or what they would share. There's clubs out here that you could go to and make you feel better. I learned that somebody like you always make you feel better. With a drug addict, they get another drug addict to talk to them because they understand the withdrawals and stuff. I don't get it. I'm not a drug, but ask me about dialysis or kidney thing. I know about the machine. I know what it does, what it make me, what it does to me. When my pressure goes low and I pass out and had to wear a bracelet, you can contact or deal with another person. That's why they got the support groups out there, the Kidney Club, at downstate.
Mhm.
And that's every 2 months. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of
Yeah.
things out there that help people with all of these different things. An organization, they are all out there. The organizations, association, whatever your sickness or your disease is, there's a foundation or something for it. You need to contact it, get with it, get some paper on it, talk to a doctor. Don't just, you know, assume it. Find out about it. Dig deep. Dig. You know what I mean? Now, if you had anything to say to anybody out there that may be a mother that may be afraid to get a kidney from their daughter or their son or anything, or just a mother out there that's gonna retire. Maybe people scared to retire or they don't want to retire because it's hard out here with Social Security by itself sometimes. Social Security, SSD, losing insurance is just a whole lot of stuff to deal with at once. But you a brave soul. I know how much of a warrior you are. So hit us with your good information.
Well, basically, I had a lot of, I had some pushback getting the kidney for my daughter initially. Her
Yes.
godmother initially was like, "Why would you do that to Makita?" And then I had a coworker, "Oh, why would you do that to your daughter?" And then I had my sister-in-law, "Oh, she's not going to be able to have kids." And the thing was, at this time, I
Mm,
had to make a decision for me. And also the fact that I had to tell my sister-in-law, "What you're saying is not true." I said, "Because my girlfriend's sister gave her mother a kidney and she has two kids after that.
mm,
So having one kidney does not mean that you can't have children.
that's
And also, if your daughter or your son is healthy and well enough and they're a match, your chances, your survival rate, I think, can be, I don't know if I want to say this, but I just think your chances of rejection or maybe lesser because it is your sibling or your daughter or someone,
mm,
especially if you're a match. I think your chances are, not saying you can't still do it, but I think your chances are less. I chose my daughter because she's healthy. She doesn't have any health issues to think about.
wow.
I think that's a good thing. As far as retiring, I I was getting tired. I was tired of the commute,
Mm,
going back and forth to um 30 years, and I just wanted to live my best life. I wanted to try to
all right.
be stress free,
Mm-hmm.
talking with people every day on the phone about their bills, about their problems. They're angry. Some are not angry, but there were a lot that were angry,
Yeah.
and it was stressful. And one time, about 4 months ago, I had got chest pains. And I told my
Mhm.
supervisors, look, I don't have a bad heart. I said,
Wow.
but if this continues, I will be going out on disability and not coming back. But what I had to take away from it is I couldn't let them stress me. I had to just let it roll off my back. I had to
Oh yeah.
deal
Yeah.
with it. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
take it personal. Because I think at
Yeah.
that time, I was taking it personal.
Yes. Wow.
And I didn't
Well,
need
you
to take
know,
it personal. So, hmm
stress is hard on all of us, especially when you have a dealing with the public and anything that you have to do, and a lot of times you have to stay, focused and encouraging and stuff like that. And sometimes you're going through something and they don't know about it. Sometimes they can. I know some of my clients read stuff on my face, or they could tell if I'm having a problem. Sometimes I'll be quiet because I talk too much and talk all the time. So I must be something going through something, but I might not want to say it or talk about it at the time because
hmm
it'll bother me. You know what I mean? It'll bother me like I start, because I'm tired or I'm sleeping, I ain't getting enough sleep, or I'm in pain and I don't want nobody to know, and I'm fighting to hide it at the same time. It just makes me crazy. But I appreciate you coming on the show to
Thank
you
you.
know the tell list, and you know what I mean. Is there anything we missed before I end the show? Before I let you give a shout out to anybody, is there any topic we missed? Anything that you want to say or show or put up or not put up or website,
Well,
whatever
the
it
only
is?
thing I want to say is that there are a lot of people that are afraid of getting a transplant. And then there are a lot of people that are comfortable with dialysis. I think that you have to do whatever you feel comfortable with.
Amen.
I
I
think
believe
that
that.
that's a decision that only you can make. I chose a transplant for me because I, at my age, I felt like I wasn't going to be able to work and do that, not what I do. The commute
Mm.
and then trying to figure out how to go to dialysis. She wanted me to go 4 times a week. And I just was like, you know
Whoa.
what? That's it for me. I'm
Wow.
going to end up with disability. I didn't, because everybody does differently on dialysis. Some people do well. Some people do fairly well. Some people don't do as good as. So I just chose to do a transplant to try to let me, my personal decision. But I encourage anybody that's considering it, not to be afraid, to have faith, because that's the only thing that got me through the whole thing. Was
Amen.
I will share this with you. I didn't say it before, but what happened is I was a little bit nervous in the beginning, and on the day of the transplant, this calmness. I know it's just God. He does what he does. I say about
That's it.
within a matter of weeks. And then on that day, the surgeon came and she said, are you ready? And I said, let's rock and roll. And she laughed.
Yeah.
My surgeon looked like a little teenage girl. I had
Wow.
to ask her, you know, at least 3 to 4, maybe 2 months before, how many of these have you done? She said, over 300. I said, you're qualified. Um, and she had a handshake like a muscle bound man, but I guess I would expect that if she's a surgeon. I don't want nobody with no little weak hand.
Wow.
But
Wow.
what happened is, on that note, when I went into the surgery, the lady asked me, "Where's your shunt?" They were amazed that I didn't have a shunt. So I
Mm.
realized, with all that being said, talking to you and talking to all these other people, a lot of the symptoms that I could have had, that a lot of people in my shoes have had, because I've spoken to different people.
Right.
I guess I was just blessed that I didn't go through as much as I could have went through
Thank
because
God.
of my stubbornness, because of my determination not to go into dialysis. Because at one point there was a time when I was feeling sorry, and I was laying in the bed, and I heard a voice tell me, "Well, you're gonna die anyway." I knew who it was. It was just,
Mm.
it was the enemy trying to
Sure it
put
was.
doubt in my
Hmm.
head.
Yes.
And I had to wake up one day and I said, "You know what? My ears are deaf." I yelled it out. "My ears are deaf to you. I don't hear you anymore." And
Mm.
from that day forward, I started living like I wanted to live. Like, no, no, no. I'm not going to die. I'm going to live.
Yes.
But it
Yes.
was difficult. because when you want the transplant and you were as sick as I was, and you're not doing dialysis, you kind of like at an impasse. And then,
Mm,
I wanted it like yesterday,
yes.
but I was forced, started the process like in May of 2016. No, May of 2017, whatever it was, 2017. And I didn't get the surgery until February of 2018. So it was a long time to
Yeah.
be that sick and still, be
Were
there.
you
But if
on
you
more
have a
than one
diet
list? Was that the only list you was on? Excuse me.
with a list for,
For a transplant. Some people are on more than one list. Some people go out of
well,
town. Well,
I was never really
I
on a
was
list. I had,
mm,
because I chose my daughter. I chose my family.
right. Yeah. Well, the reason why I
Right.
said that, suppose it didn't work out. Sometimes, like when I was going to be on the list, my husband was a perfect match. I didn't know behind my back he was getting tested and all of that. You know what I mean? So I still was on the list, but I was like surprised that he did that because I wanted somebody to stay healthy in the family. But I'm just saying that
Right.
because sometimes things don't work out. God forbid she got scared, changed her mind, or couldn't do it.
Hmm.
Anything could happen. So that's why I asked you
I
a
actually
list.
never went on the list. I never went on the list.
Okay, all right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you, you know. But anybody want to give a shout out to before I end the show?
Well, I know she's not watching, but I would like to give a shout out to my daughter who did give me the kidney. I mean, she was afraid at first, and then on the day of, she walked in there like a champ,
Wow.
and she
Surgery
conquered all
wouldn't
her
make
fear.
anybody
And
scared. Sorry.
hmm I
Say
know
that
it
again.
would.
Yeah.
Surgery will make anybody afraid,
Hmm.
but the fact that my daughter is kind of like scary of a lot of things,
Oh,
and she conquered fear to save me, that made me
amen.
very proud
Well, it's unforgettable. You
because.
you you carried her inside, and now you still carrying her. I ain't mad at you. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Hmm.
Mm. So you were able to let
Yeah,
somebody else know that they could get a kidney from a family member, and even though you went through a lot, you still fighting, and you got really strong faith, and that's good.
and one more shout out to
Okay.
Rhonda Russ for introducing me to you,
Yeah.
to
Oh.
Lisa Baxter.
Yes, that's so true. Oh, Rhonda. Woohoo! Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. I saw her in church today. She's gonna be really happy, and I gotta tell her. People can watch this after, and or they can watch it live, or they can watch it on Urban Health Outreach Media Facebook page, or sometimes
Mhm.
it'll end up on both our pages. I know if I don't see it, I put it on the page myself from that page. So you have other ways for people seeing it now or seeing it later or at their convenience. But again, I do thank you so much for sharing your heroic story. Thank you for being that
Thank you.
shero, and God bless your life. You continue to do wonderful things. Enjoy your retirement. Maybe maybe if you like to do anything, if you want to do anything, rest first. Because your head ain't cleared when you're tired. Trust me. I know. I got 2 jobs.
Well,
So I don't
did
want to
you
have
find
you.
any?
Hmm?
Do you find any of? Um, just a question for you. Do
Sure,
you
go ahead.
find that your immune suppressants, do they make you feel tired sometimes? Not tired like the disease did, but just a little tired.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I'm going really good, and then I feel that like I'm exhausted, and I'm like, well, I only been here a few minutes at work. What am I feeling like that for? I
Yeah.
try to take it off. I try to do something else, and I say, oh my goodness. But then when you read the ingredients, not just the ingredients, the side effects, I mean, of your medication, or you speak that over with your doctor, they told me some of the stuff can make you drowsy. Even the stuff they give you
Mhm.
for the things in your legs and stuff like that, and you know, so God knows all things. Yes, I have been tired and everything, and if I feel like anything is messing with my judgment, I really cool it and take my time on whatever I'm doing, whether it's paperwork or stuff in a thing or greeting my clients. I haven't been on any home visits lately, but I do home visits, a lot of walking. I miss swimming and stuff like that. So I feel, one more procedure to my back, and I would love to be normal again, like you said. I said that to somebody too. I like to feel normal. Got rid of dialysis. I don't want to see nothing else. I don't want to hear about nothing else, see
Yeah.
nothing else. You know what I mean? So I ain't mad at you for that. So, we
Yeah.
keep it real on here. We keep it 1,000, and we always will. So I thank you again. And you
You're
be well,
welcome.
you be blessed, and we'll be talking. How about that?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having.
Anytime, anytime. I appreciate it. Well, guys, you have heard guest. Yes, you have. She have came and told that story and told it with a vengeance. All right? Told it against the devil, told it against any and everybody that thought they couldn't do this. So know that you can do anything you want to do. Have some faith, try, ask questions, and dig a little deep and find out some stuff. So y'all have a beautiful, blessed night. Your girl will see you next week with a absolutely wonderful guest giving you that 411. Much love, much peace, much blessings. Good night. This is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 and the kidney one. My girl, and say, this is